Happening now, the BPU asks customers for help with Check Your Pipes initiative. And cereal straw purchaser charged with illegally transferring 20-plus guns. Plus, Senator Gillibrand condemns Hamas for violence against Israelis at UN session.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
Thank you for joining us at Western New York News Now. I'm Lee Kane Jr. Those stories and more coming up, but first, a 38-year-old Jamestown man received an indeterminate state prison sentence of 3.5 to 7 years on December 4, 2023 from Judge David Foley for his conviction on third-degree robbery, a Class D felony. In June 2022, Jorge Garay, 38, was apprehended by the Jamestown Police Department for first-degree robbery and additional charges following the theft of property from the local Big Lots. When confronted by a Big Lots employee during the attempted recovery of the stolen items, Garay brandished a knife, escalating the situation. On June 2, 2023, Garay pleaded guilty to a reduced charge of third-degree robbery. Notably, he was sentenced as a second felony offender and was under New York State parole during the incident. While in other news, officers from the Jamestown Police Department's 2nd Platoon responded to an address on the south side of the city, discovering that Thomas J. Papaserge, 43, had allegedly assaulted the victim with a blunt object. In addition, he reportedly placed the victim in a chokehold while brandishing a knife, violating a valid order of protection against the victim. Papaserge now faces charges including menacing in the 2nd degree, criminal contempt in the 1st degree, aggravated criminal contempt, assault in the 2nd degree, criminal obstruction of breathing, and unlawful imprisonment in the 1st degree. Following the incident, he was swiftly transported to Jamestown City Jail and is currently held pending arraignment in Jamestown City Court. While in other news, a motor vehicle accident on 4th South Road in the town of Ripley led to the arrest of a 66-year-old female from Erie, Pennsylvania on charges of driving while intoxicated, DWI. Deputies from the Chautauqua County Sheriff's Office responded to the scene at approximately 7:39 p.m. on December 3, 2023. Denise DeForest Morgan was identified as the operator of the vehicle involved in the accident. Subsequent investigation revealed that she was allegedly driving under the influence. The charges against her include DWI, and she was subsequently released with tickets to appear in the town of Ripley Court at a later date and time. Well, in other news, in an incident on November 29, 2023, at approximately 11:30 a.m., Scott L. Babb, age 30, turned himself in at Court Street in Little Valley, New York, after an arrest warrant was issued by Cattaraugus County Court. The arrest was carried out by the Cattaraugus County Sheriff's Office, and Babb was subsequently processed and transported to the CCSO jail. He was held pending arraignment. As WNY News Now continues, BPU asks customers for help with Check Your Pipes initiative. And later, New York Governor Kathy Hochul delivered a keynote address at New York University's 56th Annual Conference. Stay with us as WNY News Now. We'll be right back.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
Slow down.
Slow down and move over.
Move over.
When you see signs,
Lights. Vests.
Please, give us some room.
Slow down. Slow down and move over.
When you need help,
It's our job
To help you.
to save you.
despite the danger.
This danger is real. Do your part.
Please.
Slow down. Slow down. And move over.
Move over.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
The Federal Environmental Protection Agency, the EPA, has set an October 2024 deadline requiring all water utilities to complete an inventory of water service line materials in their territories. The BPU water system must compile an inventory of 16,000 water line materials by that date. The BPU provides an online video at https://bit.ly/checkpipes showing how to identify the incoming water line and its material. The video explains how to find and identify the pipe, take the picture needed for the inventory, complete a short survey, and submit the picture online. As the video indicates, the first step in identifying the pipe material is to locate the water meter, usually found in a basement, garage, or crawl space. Once the meter is located, the customer can identify the material of the water pipe coming through the foundation or floor leading up to the water meter. Next, this information can be submitted online to the utility along with a photograph by visiting jamestownbpu.com. Water lines entering buildings are made of copper, iron, lead, or plastic. If a customer scratches a pipe with a penny and the scraped area is copper in color, like the penny, the service line is copper. Also, a magnet will not stick to copper. A galvanized iron pipe is dull and silver gray in color. A magnet sticks to an iron service line. A lead pipe is also dull and silver gray and is easily scratched with a coin. However, a magnet will not stick to lead. And plastic is easy to identify. A magnet will not stick to plastic, and scratching plastic with a penny will not identify the pipe. Plastic pipes normally are labeled and are blue or white in color. Once the information is submitted, the BPU will review the online form and picture. If the BPU cannot verify the waterline material through the survey, the utility will reach out to the customer and may schedule an appointment to verify the water service line material at the convenience of the customer. In addition, a group of BPU employees have begun knocking on doors to ask for entrance to identify the water lines. These employees carry BPU identification and drive BPU designated vehicles. They also will bring door tags, including a phone number with which to make an appointment if a customer feels uncomfortable admitting an employee without advance notice. Tags are left on doors where customers are not at home. For questions or an appointment, contact the BPU Water Division at 716-661-1613. Well, in other Christmas news, residents of the town of Bustye can contribute to the joy of Christmas by donating toys for kids. Drop off your presents at the town clerk's office until December 12, 2023. For more information, visit townofbustye.com. Well, in other news, Attorney General Michelle Henry announced charges against a Philadelphia man for illegal purchases and distribution of nearly 24 firearms dating back to 2014. Notably, in just a 9-month period in 2022, Bricker purchased 21 guns. Michael Brickell, 37, is alleged to have straw purchased a total of 23 firearms, buying the guns and then selling or transferring them to individuals not legally eligible to purchase and or possess firearms. None of the guns were reported lost or stolen, and at least 6 of them were recovered in separate criminal investigations across the Philadelphia region. Many of the guns recovered were linked to drug crimes, one to a shooting incident, and tragically, one was used by an individual to take his own life. Brickell was arrested and charged Wednesday with over 40 felony counts of violating the Uniform Firearms Act for illegal firearms transfers and false statements made in connection with the purchase of firearms. Brickell was also charged with conspiracy, tampering with records, and other related crimes. Brickell was arraigned on Wednesday and bail was set at $1 million. As we can see in this case, straw purchase guns often end up in the hands of dangerous individuals to be used in the commission of crimes, said Attorney General Henry. Straw purchasing fuels gun violence in our communities and poses a threat to all who live in surrounding neighborhoods. In this case, the defendant's actions also contributed to deadly consequences. My office will not tolerate this proliferation of illegal guns and is committed to tracking these purchasers down and holding accountable the people who knowingly put deadly weapons into the hands of criminals. Attorney General Henry has made the investigation into straw purchase firearms and prosecution of straw purchasers and firearm traffickers a priority for her office. The Attorney General's office has raised awareness and use of the Track and Trace program and continues to expand gun violence task forces across the Commonwealth, teaming with federal, state, and local agencies. All charges are accusations. The defendant is innocent unless and until proven guilty. This case will be prosecuted by the Philadelphia District Attorney's Office. Well, coming up next, New York Governor Kathy Hochul delivered a keynote address at New York University's 56th Annual Conference. But first, we return with a look at our full weather forecast.
Catch your First Defense forecast daily on WNY News Now.
Right here, baby. Look. Uma.
Something more than a birthday is happening here. Once you can see it, you can help. The sooner you recognize the signs of autism, the sooner you can make a lifetime of difference for your child. Start by answering a few simple questions at screenforautism.org.
Catch your First Defense forecast daily on WNY News Now.
Fast, accurate, and everyday. First Defense weather.
Welcome back to WNY News Now. The period of late fall right before winter starts can sometimes have a roller coaster of temperatures where we will go from above average back down to below average, back to above average temperatures right before winter arrives. And we're kind of on that roller coaster now. Across the region, we were warmer this past weekend when we made it into the 50s on Sunday. It's been chilly the past few days. It will continue to be chilly for tomorrow and into Thursday, and then we're going to warm it up once again heading into the weekend. Highs tomorrow only in the lower 30s, upper 30s on Thursday, mid to upper 40s on Friday. Saturday we make it into the mid 50s, possibly even upper 50s, then the upper 40s to lower 50s on Sunday before a cold front moves to the region Sunday night, and we're right back down in the 30s by early next week. Almanac for today made it to a high of 38 degrees yesterday in the city of Jamestown. Our low was 32. The records for today, 64, the record high set back in 2012, and record low of 0 set back in 1980. So let's time out future scan through the overnight hours. Clipper system moving by to our south today brought some snow showers across the southern tier. Those snow showers will continue through the evening hours tonight and into the overnight hours. We're generally maybe a dusting to an inch or two of snow across the highest elevations. Those nuisance snow showers will continue throughout the day tomorrow. Outside of those light snow showers, we'll be left with mostly cloudy skies across the region. Maybe some areas get a couple peaks of sunshine. As we head in Wednesday night into Thursday, another frontal system will cross the region, and that's going to bring another mixture of rain and wet snow showers late Wednesday night and into the day on Thursday. Again, this is not going to amount to much, maybe a dusting to an inch of snow on the highest hilltops. So your forecast for your Wednesday tomorrow, mostly cloudy skies outside of those nuisance scattered light snow showers. High temperatures tomorrow will be in the low to mid 30s with a north wind of 5 to 10 miles per hour. The rest of that 7-day outlook powered by Ultimate Solutions. So again, nuisance snow showers for Wednesday and Thursday. Friday we look dry with possibly some more sunshine. We make it into the mid 40s. Saturday, more clouds return. Temperatures make it into the mid to upper 50s. And then we're going to watch for a stronger low pressure system to move from the Great Lakes into the northeast. Saturday night into Sunday, that's going to bring widespread rain to the region beginning Saturday night, and that will continue through the day on Sunday. Possibly we might even see some gusty.
Well, you light one Christmas tree the night before, and all of a sudden every bus from America wants to be down these streets, but I think it's a beautiful sign. When I first took office 2 years ago, we were still in the throes of a pandemic. If you've forgotten about it, just go to a high school like I did a few hours ago and talk to the students, because they're still dealing with the emotional and psychological impacts, and they'll tell you in their own words what they're going through. So there's a lot of residual effects of something that really hit us to our core right here in New York. And when you shutter the greatest city on earth, you can't expect to rebound immediately. But it feels like this rebound is taking a little longer, and that's why I'm very focused on all the metrics that say things are better. We also have to give people hope that these dark times, the clouds are now dissipating, that the better days and the sunshine are still with us. The numbers are absolutely trending in a good direction. If they were not, I would tell you that, but you can't argue with that. So the numbers are trending in a very positive way. But there's also the visible signs. Last week I was at JP Morgan Chase's topping out ceremony. You get to sign the big piece of steel. Hopefully in your industry you've done a lot of that. It said to me, this is a state-of-the-art workplace, not in another state, but it'll be the home for 14,000 people. Good wages, a lot of good labor building those buildings. It's extraordinary. When I stood there, I looked up at the sky, and it was so bright and spectacular. I said, this is the state's model, ever upward. You want to see the future, you look upward. You see these buildings rising up. You see people living there, working there, raising their families, embracing all that it means to be a New Yorker, and it is extraordinary. But it's not perfect. There's always work to do, and that's why in my budget, my proposals last year, I announced a new vision for New York. We call it the New New York Dream. I want to make sure that this is a place where people can live without fear of crime, that they have the ability to enjoy a high quality of life, that they have great job opportunities, educational opportunities, and eventually when they retire, they don't ever have to worry about the high cost of living. That is the dream I have, but I'm talking about how to make that become a reality. And what I'm talking about is one of the #1 drivers of keeping that dream out of people's hands is the high cost of housing. And you don't need to just listen to me. Look at the latest Marist poll. 73% of New Yorkers have come to the conclusion that one of the biggest problems they face is the high cost of housing. We also are building only 1 unit of housing for every 3 new jobs that are created. Do the math. This is what we work for all the time. I want to create new jobs. Businesses are coming. Very, very positive. Great story. But if they don't have a place to live, it doesn't work. They move to another state. That's the missing link to our unbridled success here in New York. And part of it is not because there's not a lot of will in this room. The people you're looking at and will talk to you, they want to build. But there are barriers. New York is unique in many good ways and often some not so good ways. I decided when I had a legislature that just couldn't see fit to do the right thing here, because you know what I proposed last year. I don't think I need to educate everybody. We had the boldest, most ambitious housing plan, the New York Times said, since Nelson Rockefeller was governor. Anybody alive when Nelson Rockefeller was governor? Okay, you're not admitting how old you are. That was a long time ago. That's a shame. That's perhaps why we don't have the housing now, because it does take courage, takes a bold vision. But that's what we have here in New York, right? Who's bolder, who's more visionary than we are? I have been to so many places, from Long Island to Westchester and every place in between. I've seen the answers. But I need this industry to help me. Help tell the story of all the great potential that could still be unlocked if we could work toward a solution. And everybody has to give a little bit. It's the art of compromise, right? Healthy relationships have compromise. Anybody here married? You know what I'm talking about? I've been married 49 years. I'm an expert on this subject. Okay? You got to give a little. But the results are so worth it. And I, for one, know that together we can figure this out. I am a believer. I'm a dreamer, but I'm also a believer in the past success of what the giants of the real estate industry have accomplished through some really bad times and the good. And right now, I see a very bright future on the horizon. In fact, I see the equivalent of a Stanley Cup for this city. So let's make that happen, everybody. Thank you for caring so much. Thank you for being here today, and good luck with the rest of the conference.
Well, coming up next, Senator Gillibrand condemns Hamas for violence against Israelis at UN session.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
If you want to speak truth to the masses, make it funny for the classes.
Hi, everyone. Al Roker here. As a guy with his own catchphrase, I appreciate that Smokey's only said,
"Only you can prevent wildfires."
But I'm filling in because there's a lot more to report. Like when there are parched or windy conditions out there, you gotta be extra careful with things like burning yard waste. After all, wildfires can start anywhere, even in your neck of the woods. Go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
United States Senator Kirsten Gillibrand delivered remarks at a special session convened by Israel's permanent mission to the UN. At the session, Gillibrand and other women's rights experts denounced the use of rape and sexual violence committed by Hamas terrorists against Israeli women and girls.
Good afternoon. It's very important that we are all here. It is very important that we are giving voice to the women who were raped and murdered on October 7th. It's very important that we are speaking truth to power at this time and in this place. I'm grateful for the leaders here. I'm grateful to Cheryl for your voice, to take your platform to speak out so loudly and so boldly and so clearly is essential. I'm grateful for the ambassador, for your searing words, your absolute truth, and your unwillingness to accept silence from your colleagues at the UN. I want to thank Sheila and for the National Council of Jewish Women for standing so firm, for refusing to be silenced in this moment, and to bring the world community to bear. When I saw the list of women's rights organizations who have said nothing, I nearly choked. Where is the solidarity for women in this country and in this world to stand up for our mothers, our sisters, and our daughters? The horrific acts committed on October 7th by Hamas are truly indescribable. I've seen much of the raw footage. It takes your breath away in the sheer level of evil it depicts. You can't unsee when you see it, and it haunts you like no other image you could ever see on a movie screen. The barbaric acts are acts beyond what we have seen from ISIS, Al-Qaeda, other horrific terrorist organizations around the globe. Witnessing people trying to behead people through many means is disgusting. Hearing the testimony about what has happened to women, the types of dismemberment, the types of sexual violence to degrade them, to bring fear in their final moments, to bring fear in the eyes of those who had to witness the atrocities, is unspeakable. While it is very hard to tell these stories, while some don't want to show the actual videos and pictures, we must demand it. We have to demand that people see what happened and to know it is truth. We collectively must ensure that the world knows the heinous, horrific, barbaric nature of Hamas's actions. We have to ensure that it is engraved in history for all time, just as when we go to see Yad Vashem and see the memories and the moments and the failures and the cruelty and the horror of what happened during World War II. One of the earliest images that we have been able to see is during the attack was that of Naama Levy. She was being dragged by her hair, her hands tied behind her back, thrown into a truck, blood streaming down her face, streaming down her arms, streaming down her back. Her sweatpants were covered in blood, streaming down her legs, clearly a victim of sexual assault. She was in terror. We've seen photos of bodies of all ages with unspeakable injuries. We've heard testimony of young girls being killed with their pants pulled down and naked, alone, afraid, and in terror. The mountain of evidence forensic examinations, eyewitness testimonies from survivors and paramedics, video footage from Hamas itself, the words of Hamas declaring victory about the 10 people that he killed to his mother, recorded on his cell phone. It embodies a level of evil we don't see. It's hard to hear. It's hard to witness. The atrocities have evoked horror and despair. I can't imagine what it's like to be a Jewish family today, whether you're in Israel, whether you're in America, whether you're anywhere in the globe, watching this episode unfold in real time, knowing that it is just part of a long legacy of anti-Semitic brutality and inhumanity. For centuries, rape, sexual mutilation, sexual violence have played a grotesque role in the subjugation and suppression of the Jewish people. During the Holocaust, women and children were sexually abused, mutilated, and raped routinely. During the pogroms of the earliest 20th century, rape was used as the instrument of war. Even in the Renaissance, Italy, rape was used to extort money from families. Make no mistake, this is part of our global history. Rape's been used as a weapon of war for centuries, a deliberate form of torture that serves to dehumanize and terrorize not just the women, but the entire community. It's recently reared its very ugly head in the former Yugoslavia, where mass rape and sexual enslavement were used as an instrument of war. In Iran, the regime's security forces use rape and sexual violence against children in order to subdue women and the population as a whole. In Ukraine, overwhelmingly evidence shows Russian soldiers systemically using rape against innocent Ukrainians. This explains why the atrocities committed on October 7th and the international community's reluctance, even refusal to condemn or even acknowledge them, doesn't just strike fear in the hearts of Israeli women, it strikes fear in the hearts of every woman and girl around the globe. Their bodies are not worth defending. Their humanity is not worth protecting. The world community must do more. It must demand accountability for these intolerable crimes. The United Nations must denounce Hamas as a terrorist organization that uses rape as a weapon of war. The United Nations must live up to its purpose of upholding the principles of international law, and the United Nations must condemn these evil crimes against humanity.
Well, that's going to be it for us today. I'd like to thank you all for watching. News continues 24/7 at WNYNewsNow.com and on our mobile app. You can download it today for free in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. We're also on Channel 716 on Roku and at channel716.com. Thank you for watching.